Okay, this one here, do you have it in your Spectrum? Dr. Nasro should upload this in the Spectrum by now. Did you find this in your Spectrum? Let me share the screen. Yeah. Okay, this instruction here, the detailed instruction, as what you can see from my screen here. Did you find it in your Spectrum?
No, doctor. There is nothing there.
Okay, so if there is no instruction in the Spectrum, you may refer to our MS team here. Okay, this is where I put the instruction. Okay, this PDF here is the instruction for this lab. Alright, so please download this PDF and have a really good reading with your lab mates, with your group mates. Okay, on the specific instruction in this PDF. And this one here is the briefing that Dr. Nas already given to you. Okay, but I just put it here again so that it will be easier for you just to refer to the specific timeline, such as the submission and the presentation. Okay, now let's look at the specific requirement for this lab. Alright, so since this is going to be an online experiment, okay, so I've decided that you can use this Kinovia software, okay, where you can install in your laptop and in your phone. Okay, so you can refer more on the information from this website here. Okay, so it's a open access video and a free video analysis software. So what I want you to do for this experiment is to achieve these two objectives. Okay, the main purpose of this experiment is to investigate the reliability of Kinovia software for measuring lower limb biomechanics in healthy individuals. So to achieve this aim, okay, you need to show these two objectives. Okay, you need to achieve these two objectives, which are, the first is to determine the reliability of Kinovia for measuring ankle and knee joint angles during walking. Okay, so you need to find some previous literature review, previous journal paper that use Kinovia and that measure the reliability of Kinovia. Okay, there are some example of published papers out there that shows you how to determine the reliability. Okay, not only for Kinovia, there are other software or there are other experiment methods that show you how to determine reliability. So you can follow one of the methods on how to measure reliability. Okay, that's number one objective. The second one is in how the joint angles change with different walking speed. So the keyword here is the different walking speed. So you must show a variation of walking speeds. Okay, maybe slow, moderate, fast, or very slow, very fast. Okay, so that one you have to decide within your group. Okay, so for the second objective, the only thing that you need to see is how the joint change. When you change the velocity of your walking speed, how the joint angle will change as well with the speed. Okay, so these are the two objectives that you need to have in your report or in your experiment. So as usual, okay, the final report must include introduction or background of the matter. So you need to discuss what is Kinovia, what is motion analysis, what is reliability. Okay, you have to discuss that in your introduction and background. You need to set up your experiment protocol, results and discussion and conclusion. Okay, so as you already know, the work of this experiment is in group, but of course the lab report will be on individual basis. Alright, so what I would suggest is, since you are away from everyone, okay, you need to work online. Maybe of how you want to locate the workload. Maybe one or two person in your group, okay, they are required to record the movement of any of their family member. Okay, so I need at least 3 subjects for your experiment. Okay, only when you have 3 or more, then you can get a fair average. Okay, because you cannot have just one, that's not acceptable. Okay, 2 is not that good because you only have 2 person to compare with. Okay, you only have 2 data to do the average. So minimum 3 is the best. Okay, a minimum 3 subject is needed for this experiment, so that you can have a good average from that 3%. Right? So in terms of the subjects, you can decide whether you want to see. What I would suggest is to select subjects that has almost the same criteria in terms of age and weight. Okay, that is the best, because we want to minimize the differences within the subject that may influence the biomechanics data. Okay, so for example, if student A has brothers and sisters of a certain height and weight, okay, I would suggest that another students can also take the data from pretty much same height and weight. Okay, not to the difference of height and weight should not be too significant or too obvious. Right? Even in your MS team, okay, I've also provided the link to the website of the Canovia. Okay, and let's look at the timeline that Dr. Nasrul already informed you earlier. So basically, you need to submit. The presentation will be in week 13. Okay, so I would assume that you can submit in week 14 for my lab. All right, you need to submit within week 13, within your presentation week. Okay, did Dr. Nasrul tell you when to submit? Is it week 13? Week 13 is your presentation. When is submission? Week 13, right? Week 13, yeah. Okay. Okay, any question? Okay, so for the time being, you go ahead and find more on Canovia, find on reliability, and most importantly, find previous research or journal paper that have done experiment using Canovia. Okay, so all the best. Please work in group. Okay, as a group, make sure that everyone participate in this experiment, although it is done online. All right. Have you elected your leader? Have you already have a leader for each group?
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
I have a question regarding the recording the movement of at least the 3 subject. Is it the data that we get from the one person we use as a group?
Yes.
So
yes.
we use the same data for
Yes.
everyone in the group. Is it?
Yes. You say you use the same data. The problem is how you want to elaborate the results, how you elaborate your discussion. Of course, you have to discuss in your group to better understand what's happening, how the trend is showing, but you have to write it on your own interpretation. Okay, discussion can be done in group, definitely, because you do it in a group, so you must to make sure that everyone in the group understand what you're doing and everyone in the group knows what is the conclusion, why is the trend showing that way. Okay, that discussion can be done in group, but you have to write it in your own understanding. Okay, so the data is shared with everyone. So I will have the same data in the group, but I'm expecting to see a different ways of writing, a different ways of interpretation of the results. Okay.
All right. Thank you, doctor.
All right. So the leader, whoever you are, please select a leader in your group so that your experiment will be more organized. Have you have leader yet?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so leader, please disseminate the work across your team member. Who do literature review on reliability? Who do review on Canovia? Who do review on motion analysis? And etc. Okay, so maybe for Canovia you want to assign 2%, okay, because 2% will be better to understand the software and how to use the software. Okay, the rest at this point can do literature review, okay, on how to set up your experiment, how to calculate reliability, those kind of things. All right, so all the best to you. And as I said earlier, after this I'll try to make the group public so that you can see the specific requirement for this lab. Okay, if there is no further question, okay, I will we can dismiss now. Okay, and I will let Adeline know once the group can be assessed. Okay, everyone, thank you for your time. All right, and let me know if you have any issues or concerns to complete this experiment. All right, thank you so much. Bye and assalamualaikum.